person who is going to use your product or service, especially in a B2B environment, is a separate stakeholder, and the person who's going to make the decision of purchase is a separate stakeholder, right? So now what you need to understand is that there is a user, there's a buyer in your ecosystem. This person is conscious of value, whereas this person is unconscious, for the lack of a better word, and is just looking at price.
Exactly.
Right? This is the gap and the challenge. Right? Now, what you need to do is, one is you got to firstly embrace the fact that this person now is a key stakeholder. No matter how much you hate it, no matter how stupid you find them, the reality doesn't change. It's a key stakeholder. So what will make this person win? Let's understand that. As a procurement or a purchase person, what will make me feel victorious? Anybody? A better price, right? Okay. Better price, better terms, right? That's what will make me win. Now, in an environment like that, this person wins with the value you are providing. They are convinced. But for this person, for the buyer who's a stakeholder, he needs to feel a sense of victory. Okay. So in this kind of a scenario, what you want to know is you want to make sure, how am I making them win? Now there's one strategy that I will share with you, which is what I call the offer price and boundary price. Okay. So two things that you have to do. Okay. I'll give you an example. Okay. I'll give a very interesting example. My wife runs a weddings business, and I'd like you to draw your parallel from this example. She has two friends who are photographers. Okay. One friend quotes 4.5 lakh rupees to cover a wedding. The other quotes 15 lakh rupees to cover a wedding. Deliverables are the same. Quality of output is also the same. The one who quotes 15 lakh rupees is better branded. Okay. And the one who quotes 15 lakh rupees typically closes with the client at 9.5 lakhs. The one who quotes 4.5 lakh rupees is willing to close at even 4 lakhs. Who do you think makes more money? Who do you think gets more clients? The one who quotes 15 and closes at 9.5. Now there are two things that the one who quotes 15 and closes at 9.5 does. Number one, this agency says, look, we are a premium agency. Firstly, I'm telling you, we are premium. We are not for the masses. Okay. And then, being a premium agency, when she gives a room for negotiation of about 5.5 lakhs, what do you think the client feels when they close the deal? 15 lakh वाले को 9.5 में close किया मैंने. Client feels a sense of victory. Now in the same scenario, I'll tell you, who's the user, who's the buyer? Typically, the bride is the user. And he'll tell you, he's in the weddings business. Today, the bride makes most of the decisions, saying, this is what I want for my wedding. Okay. She tells, food, I don't care. Photographer, I care. I want Instagram reach.
If you are a business owner and want to build your business in a manner where it grows without you, then click on the link given in the description below and watch my 40-minute free business training. More than 280,000 entrepreneurs have benefited from it, so watch it right now.
So the bride is the user. Who's the buyer? In most cases, it's the bride's father. So what this wedding planning photography company has done is, they've attracted the user with the value and the brand. They are going to the buyer saying, hey, listen, please don't compare us with another brand. And in your case, while you are staking the claim, don't compare us with another brand, you have both left brain and right brain aspects to pitch to them. Your left brain aspect is the cost advantage over a period of time, right? I'm sure you will have some kind of statistics to show that, hey, listen, our product over a period of time, because of this much less breakdown, is actually saving you money. So don't be dumb. So logically, you can defeat how you have a competitive advantage over the other market alternatives. Okay. Logically, you can create a a sense of, or for the lack of a better word, knock sense into the head of the buyer saying, this is a better product. Okay. Now, apart from giving that cost advantage, if you are able to understand the tendency of the buyer, the procurement manager, what is their tendency? For them, they want to feel like I won. I saved some money. And I'm seeing a lot of brands do this today. A lot of brands, what they've done is they've increased their offer price. The price that they are quoting, they've increased it. And then from there, they give a bigger window for negotiation, which is their boundary price, which is the price below which they will not take up the project. Okay. Now in this entire process, what's happening is, because I am giving a window to myself of negotiation and I'm doing a price drop for this person, he feels victorious. So the way I would say is, differentiate yourself from the market. Okay. It's like what the Mercedes did when Toyota launched Lexus. Mercedes increased their price. Toyota launched Lexus saying we are luxury for the US. Okay. Mercedes said, sorry, we are not in the same segment. They increased price. So what you'll have to do is little bit increase quoting price at a 1-to-1 level, offer the boundary price. So there's a significant gap where they feel victorious, and tell them I'm doing this as a one-time for retention, and also educate on benefit. So what you're doing is, look at it from the buyer's perspective, the procurement manager's perspective. Number one, you've shown me why this is a superior product by positioning cost advantage. Second, you made me win by giving me a significant bargain where I feel I negotiated 10%, 20%, 30%. I don't know what that margin is. When you do these two things, what will happen is you'll give yourself the opportunity to retain a hold of the market. I'll also give you another insight. Sometimes you should let a customer go, for them to go experience inferior quality and come back.
Sometimes do that.
So let them go and stay in touch. Stay in touch while you're letting them go. Like almost like stay in touch in a very casual manner, saying, hey, I want to know your experience. I'm waiting for you to come back. Okay. So sometimes you got to let a customer go.